Hey, Sean here from SpeedCubeReview.com. I'm going to go over some F2L cases where the corner's already inserted. If you've ever seen anyone ask about F2L on Facebook, you know I very often respond with stick to being mainly intuitive. If you stick to algorithms, often it's just going to become less efficient. There are some odd cases, but sticking to what's intuitive will be more efficient much of the time. And even people like Felix or Max, who solve the first two layers in under 4 seconds, are doing what's mainly intuitive. They're just doing it really fast. But this can cause a problem sometimes. How do you do this intuitively without doing a lot of moves? Let's go over that. Now, there's a few different cases that can happen, and I'm going to talk about each of those. The first one is where you have empty slots. So it's not your last pair. And when you have that, a really easy thing to do is Keyhole. If you don't know what Keyhole is, it's a way of solving pairs where you have an open slot and you use that open slot as, I guess, a keyhole to insert the pieces. So for example, I'll use this as my keyhole. All I'm going to do is a D prime move, insert the edge, and then D. So D prime, insert the edge, D. And that's it. So that could be the case for, let's say, if you have this one. Now, the edge you want to be opposite. Let's say this pair is already solved, so you just have the one in the back. So you just do a D2. So I line that edge up, D2, and insert. Now we're done. Now, you don't have to line the edge up. If you know how to manipulate the edges without it being right there, you can just insert like that. Another one's kind of fun is if you already have the corner in place, but the edge is in a different spot. So if it's right here, if it's adjacent to that one, it's a super easy algorithm. Right here, I would do L2, U2, L2, U2, L2. And there we go. You can also do it with your right hand. You just want wherever the piece is to be on the same side that you are moving. Now, if it's in that back corner, honestly, I would probably just take it out, D2, keyhole, D2. Because if you take that out, you know that's most likely not going to have a pair in there unless you're really lucky and it inserts the other pair at the same time. Now, if you already have everything else solved except for that one spot, there's a couple ways of doing this. You could do what you might do if you're doing a beginner method where you line it up, pair it, and then reinsert. But that can involve a rotation or an F move, and especially if you're trying to make sure you're not going to misorient these edges, you can just do this algorithm, which is also what I teach now when I teach beginners. I'm finding that beginning solvers like this algorithm more often, even though it doesn't always make intuitive sense. So if it's on the right side and it's lined up, all I'm going to do here is R prime, U prime, R prime, U prime, R prime, URUR. And that's also going to preserve the edge orientation. Same thing on the left side. If that color lines up, you hold it with the left side and do it like that. L, U, L, U, L, U prime, L prime, U prime, L prime. Now, you want to be able to do this also on the back. You don't want to just always do that in the front because then that's going to be rotating the puzzle. So just like that. So those are some of the major cases where if you already have a corner in place, it can be a little awkward to insert, but this way it makes it much easier and you don't have to do a bunch of random movements of taking the corner out and then pairing it up and then re-putting it back in. You can just get that edge in there without doing too many moves. So thank you very much. Please leave your thoughts and questions in the comment section below. Hit like, subscribe for more content like this in the future, and as always, stop by SpeedCubeReview.com for more news and reviews.